What if I told you that you could power your favorite gadgets with just two things you probably already have in your kitchen, baking soda and aluminum foil? And what if I told you this hack costs less than $1, takes just minutes to set up, and could save you from ever buying another battery again? Sounds unbelievable, right? But stick with me, because what you're about to see might just flip everything you thought you knew about energy on its head. Now, before you roll your eyes and think, if it's so simple, why isn't everyone doing it? That's exactly the question you should be asking. Because the truth is, this isn't some new discovery. The science behind it has been around for centuries, quietly powering experiments and even some early inventions. But for some reason, you won't find this hack on the back of a battery pack, or in any big energy company's marketing campaign. Let's cut to the chase. Here's a quick demo. I'm taking a strip of aluminum foil, a bit of baking soda, and a piece of paper towel, a splash of water, a little assembly, and watch this. An LED lights up instantly. That's real power from items you probably have sitting in your kitchen drawer right now. Imagine what else you could do with this knowledge. Why haven't you heard about this before? Let's dig deeper. Let's be honest. Batteries are one of those things we all take for granted until they let us down. You know the drill. You grab the TV remote, press the button, and nothing happens. Or your flashlight dies right when you need it most. So you head to the store, fork over your hard-earned cash for a pack of name-brand batteries and hope they'll last longer this time. But they never do they? It's a cycle we've all been trapped in, and it's costing us more than just money. Think about it. The average household spends hundreds of dollars on batteries every year. Multiply that by millions of homes, and you're looking at a multi-billion-dollar industry built on single-use products that are designed to run out. Planned obsolescence isn't just a conspiracy theory, it's a business model. Batteries are engineered to have a limited lifespan, forcing you to buy replacements again and again. And who profits? The same handful of giant corporations that control the market year after year. But the problem goes deeper than your wallet. Every time you toss a dead battery in the trash, you're adding to a growing mountain of toxic waste. Batteries leak chemicals like lead, mercury, and cadmium into the environment, poisoning soil and water. Recycling programs exist, but let's be real, most batteries still end up in landfills. The environmental cost is staggering, and yet the cycle continues. So why do we keep playing along? Because we're told there's no alternative. The big brands want you to believe that their products are the only safe, reliable option. But what if that's not true? What if there's a better way? One that puts the power back in your hands, literally. Let's look at the science they don't want you to know. At its core, a battery is nothing more than a clever arrangement of materials that lets chemistry do the heavy lifting. The science behind it, electrochemistry, is surprisingly simple, and it's been powering inventions for centuries. All you need are two different metals and something to help them exchange ions, called an electrolyte. When these ingredients come together, a chemical reaction takes place, and that reaction creates a flow of electrons. That's electricity, plain and simple. Let's rewind to the early 1800s. Alessandro Volta, an Italian scientist, stacked alternating layers of zinc and copper with salty paper in between. This voltaic pile was the world's first true battery, and it worked because the metals in the salty water set up a chemical tug of war. Electrons flowed from one metal to the other, and for the first time, people had a steady, portable source of power. No fancy factories, no rare earth minerals, just basic materials and a little know-how. You might remember making a lemon battery in school. Stick a copper penny and a zinc nail into a lemon, and you can generate enough electricity to light up a small bulb. The lemon juice acts as the electrolyte, and the metals do the rest. It's a fun experiment, but it's also a powerful reminder. You don't need high-tech gadgets or corporate secrets to make electricity. The principles haven't changed in over 200 years. So why do we act like batteries are some kind of black box? The truth is, the same chemistry that powered Volta's pile and your childhood science project can be harnessed with everyday items. And that's exactly what we're about to do, using nothing more than baking soda and aluminum foil. Ready to see how it works? Now for the moment you've been waiting for, the step-by-step guide to building your own battery using nothing but baking soda, aluminum foil, and a few other household items. This isn't just a science experiment, it's a practical hands-on hack that anyone can do, no matter your experience level. And the best part? It's safe, cheap, and surprisingly effective. Let's start with the materials. Here's what you'll need. A roll of aluminum foil, some baking soda, a paper towel, a bit of water, and a coin, preferably copper, like a penny. That's it. No toxic chemicals, no rare metals, no special tools. If you've ever wrapped leftovers or baked cookies, you already have most of what you need. First, tear off a strip of aluminum foil, about the size of a playing card. This will act as one of your battery's electrodes. Next, take a paper towel and cut it to the same size. Sprinkle a generous pinch of baking soda onto the paper towel, then dampen it with a little water, just enough to dissolve the baking soda and make the towel moist, not soaking wet. The baking soda solution is your electrolyte, the key ingredient that lets ions move between the metals. Now, place the damp, baking soda-soaked paper towel on top of the aluminum foil. Finally, put your copper coin on top of the paper towel. You've just created a single cell of your homemade battery. If you want more power, you can stack several of these cells together. Foil, paper towel, coin, repeat. Just like Volta did with his original pile. So, how does it work? The aluminum and copper are two different metals with different tendencies to give up electrons. When they're separated by the baking soda electrolyte, a chemical reaction starts. Electrons flow from the aluminum, which acts as the anode, to the copper, the cathode, creating an electric current. The baking soda solution allows ions to move between the metals, completing the circuit. To test your battery, connect wires to the aluminum foil and the copper coin. Hook them up to a small LED, a digital clock, or even a low-power motor. You'll see the device spring to life, powered by nothing more than kitchen chemistry. Want more juice? Stack more cells? Or experiment with different electrolytes like salt water or vinegar for even better results. This hack isn't just a party trick. It's a real working battery that you can build in minutes using materials you already have. It's safe, it's simple, and it's proof that you don't need to rely on expensive store-bought batteries to power your world. So, what can you do with this newfound power? Let's put it to the test and see how it stacks up against the batteries you've been buying all your life. Let's see what this homemade battery can actually do in the real world. First up, the classic test, lighting an LED. I connect the wires from my baking soda and aluminum foil battery to a small LED bulb. Instantly, the bulb glows, a clear sign that this simple stack of kitchen materials is generating real, usable electricity. It's not just a science fair trick, it's a working power source you built yourself. But let's push it further. I stack a few more cells together, increasing the voltage. Now, I hook up a tiny desk fan. The blades start spinning, powered entirely by our DIY battery. It's not going to run a refrigerator, but for small electronics, emergency lights, or science projects, this hack is more than up to the task. And remember, you can scale it up by adding more cells or experimenting with different electrolytes to boost performance. Now, for the ultimate challenge. Can it charge a phone? I connect the battery to a USB voltage booster and plug in my phone. The charging icon flickers on for a few seconds, proof that with enough cells and the right setup, even your smartphone can sip power from this homemade source. It's not a replacement for your wall charger, but in a pinch, it's a lifesaver. Let's compare this to a store-bought AA battery. The commercial battery is more compact and delivers more consistent power, but it's also expensive, disposable, and locked behind a paywall of corporate branding. Our DIY battery, on the other hand, is cheap, reusable, and built from scratch. It's not about replacing every battery in your house. It's about knowing you have options and the power to create your own solutions. You might be wondering, if this battery hack is so simple and effective, why isn't everyone using it? Why isn't it taught in schools or featured in commercials or sitting on store shelves next to the big-name batteries? The answer isn't just about science. It's about business, control, and the way our world is wired to favor profit over practicality. Let's start with the obvious. There's no money in it for the big players. Battery companies make billions selling you single-use products that are designed to run out. If everyone knew they could whip up a working battery from kitchen scraps, how many people would keep buying expensive disposable batteries? The business model depends on planned obsolescence, products that are meant to fail, so you have to keep coming back for more. A DIY solution that costs pennies and can be rebuilt endlessly just doesn't fit into that equation. But it goes deeper than just lost sales. There are regulatory hurdles too. Commercial batteries are subject to strict safety and performance standards, which makes sense for mass-produced products. But these regulations also create a barrier to entry for alternative solutions, even if they're perfectly safe for home use. The result? Innovation gets stifled, and simple, effective hacks like this one get pushed to the margins. History is full of examples where disruptive technology was ignored, dismissed, or even actively suppressed because it threatened the status quo. Think about Nikola Tesla's wireless energy experiments, or the early electric cars that vanished when oil became king. Even the original voltaic pile was met with skepticism and resistance from established interests. The pattern is clear. When a new idea threatens to upend a profitable system, it's often swept under the rug. So, the reason you haven't heard about the baking soda and aluminum foil battery isn't because it doesn't work. It's because it works too well for the people who profit from keeping you dependent. But now you know the truth, and that knowledge is power. Let's see how you can use it to become more self-sufficient and independent. Now that you've seen the basics, let's talk about how you can take this battery hack to the next level. The beauty of this DIY approach is that it's endlessly customizable. Want more voltage? Stack your cells in series, just like the original voltaic pile. Each new layer adds a little more power, letting you light up brighter LEDs or run more demanding gadgets. Need more current? Connect multiple stacks in parallel, and you'll be able to power devices that draw more juice, like small radios or emergency flashlights. But don't stop there. Experiment with different electrolytes to see what works best. Try saltwater vinegar or even lemon juice instead of baking soda. Each one will give you slightly different results, and you might be surprised at how much performance you can squeeze out of simple household ingredients. You can also swap out the copper coin for other metals. Try a nickel, a steel washer, or even a piece of graphite from a pencil. Share your results with the community. Post your builds, your successes, and even your failures online. The more we experiment and share, the more we all learn. Who knows? Your tweak might be the breakthrough someone else needs. This isn't just about building a battery, it's about building knowledge, resilience, and a network of people who refuse to settle for the status quo. So, what will you power next? This simple battery hack is more than just a clever trick. It's a gateway to a new way of thinking about energy and independence. Imagine a world where you're not at the mercy of supply chains, price hikes, or corporate interests. For preppers and off-grid enthusiasts, knowing how to generate power from everyday items isn't just a fun experiment, it's a vital skill. In a blackout, a natural disaster, or any situation where store shelves are empty, the ability to create your own electricity can make all the difference. But it's not just about emergencies. It's about questioning the stories we've been told, that energy is complicated, that you need expensive gadgets, that you have to rely on big companies for even the simplest needs. The truth is, the knowledge to create power has always been within reach. It's been hidden in plain sight, waiting for curious minds to rediscover it. By experimenting with DIY solutions like this battery, you're taking the first step toward real energy freedom. You're proving that you don't have to settle for what's handed to you. You can innovate, adapt, and take control of your own power, literally and figuratively. So next time you see a dead battery or a dark room, remember, you have options. You have the power to light your own way no matter what the world throws at you. Now that you've seen just how easy it is to make your own battery from everyday items, why not give it a try yourself? Grab some baking soda, aluminum foil, and a few coins, and see what you can power. Whether you light up an LED, run a small fan, or just impress your friends, you'll be taking the first step toward real energy independence. Don't just take my word for it, share your results in the comments below. Did you find a way to boost the power? Did you try a different electrolyte or metal? Your experiments could inspire someone else to push the boundaries even further. If you enjoyed this dive into hidden science and want to discover more hacks that big companies don't want you to know, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. We've got upcoming videos on DIY solar panels, water power generators, and other suppressed technologies that can help you take control of your own energy future. Got a story or a question? Drop it in the comments. I read everyone. Together we can build a community of makers, tinkerers, and truth seekers who refuse to settle for the status quo. Don't let big energy keep you in the dark. Join the revolution today.